All right, welcome back. If you were here before, things now underway once again at Marcin Bull here in Point Edward, Ontario, just on the skirt of Sarnia. And things underway. The practice session just wrapped up and now full swing. People from all over joining in today. And we'd love to hear where you're watching from. If you want to say hello in the chat. Just getting my bearings here, and we will give you an update of who's bowling here this afternoon. 37 bowlers, I'm told. And earlier we had Roger Winter, who's a bowler for many, many years, speaking to us. That was on the previous broadcast, and we're going to have some other folks joining us throughout the day. Just getting a little organized here. Apologize for the silence. Of course, you might be tired of listening to me if you were here earlier. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Love to hear from you. Do you have a bowler that you're looking to cheer on? Let us know. We'll give them that shout out they deserve. Going to get you the standings from the morning session here in just a moment as we're waiting for those results. You can also go to tournamentbowl.com for those results. Thanks to Alexa. Yes, we have an Alexa here. The social media manager here at Marcin Bowl. Your standings for the Big Money Bowl already up there, and Jordan Crosscurry taking the lead so far. Dan McClellan and TJ Howard. $20,000 on the line here. And good luck to today's squad. Now underway. Thanks, Alexa. And thanks to all of you for joining in and watching. Appreciate having you here. And if you're in the area, come on down here and say hello to us. I know that my friend Greg Gray was watching online and himself, and he said his children are now a little older, 18 and so. Bowled for years and looking to get back into the sport. And that's one of the reasons why Jeff Wickens and his family put together the Big Money Bowl, wanting to attract and rejuvenate the bowling sport. And I'd say it's working. And I'll tell you here why in just a moment as I'll pull up my email. We'll go through a list of bowlers that have made the travel, some from quite far away. Of course, we've got Sarnia here. We've got Andy Ministersky, I hope I said that right, from Acton, Ontario. Got Greg Geenson from Guelph. Eddie Kwai from Richmond. Sean Myers from Surrey, BC. He's looking for the 20,000, I'm thinking. Holung Chen from Markham, Ontario. Christian Robert from Logier Settlement, New Brunswick. We've got Ryan Seton from Mississauga. Hugh Bent from Mississauga. Colin Bent from Mississauga. I'm thinking these guys rode together. Michael Requidin from Brampton. Ben Lapointe from Corunna. Peter Goodman from Edmonton. Joe Clatch from Mississauga. Southwold, Ontario is Tyson Schiller. Dave Little from Sarnia. Jim Lapointe, Sarnia. What else we got here? Looks like Jordan Lazarus from Mississauga. Lots of Mississauga in the house. From Windsor, Adam Grimmel. Jamie Rideau from Sarnia. Bill Rideau from Sarnia. Robert Purdy from Niagara Falls, Ontario. Kitchener, Ontario is Matt Lewis. Pierre Bellevaux from London. Steve Lewicki, another fellow who I've known for quite some time, moved from school. Been bowling for 45 years with a 220 average. Also part of the pro shop here at Marcin. And additionally, a gentleman went to high school with. Wow. Yeah, we're getting old. Dan Chop from Sarnia. He's a right-handed bowler. He's been bowling for 50 years with a 215 average. Paul Crumray, I hope I said that right. Bowling for 18 years from Mississauga. Alex Coelho from Mississauga, 20 years. Lots of Mississauga here. They're looking to make a statement. Chris Murphy here from Sarnia. Also from Sarnia, Brandon Gauthier. Chatham, Ontario brings John Armstrong. Roy Macetta from Corunna. Hey, Roy. Kelly Sitter, realtor here in Sarnia. I was talking to her earlier. She was telling me about her experience as a bowler. How long have you been bowling? She says forever. We'll accept that. Bryce Wilson. Bryce Watson. My apologies. Also bowling forever. Bowls two-handed. Mike Shepard from Petrolia. Dan Vandermeer, also from Sarnia. Airdrie, Alberta is Murdoch Little. Brandon Teddy from Jackson, Michigan. 37 bowlers in all here this afternoon at Marcin Bowl. Just going to focus in on the one side here for a few moments, give you an idea. So again, 37 bowlers in all, and you can see the action underway here. Marcin Bowl with 36 lanes, 24 of them being 10-pin, and still 5-pin. And you can learn more about their facility at marcinbowl.com.
Last call for 50-50. Last call for 50-50.
And your 50-50 draw here, and also part of the tradition. Broadcasting for you here. I'm David Burrows here from Sarnia, and do professional live streaming services as well as my weekly show, The Show with David Burrows. You can check that out on Facebook and watch the broadcast on our website if you'd rather at tvsn.ca. TVSN, the video show network. Thanks. All right, just coming live to you now on the Marcin Bowl side. I apologize. We were live on other sites, but Alexa caught that. Thanks, Alexa. Yes, we have an Alexa. Alexa answer. And yes, we do say, Alexa, can you... Yep, we do that. 37 bowlers here today for the afternoon session of the first ever Big Money Bowl here at Marcin Bowl in Point Edward, Ontario. Let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. Congratulations to Jeff Wickens and his family on, keeping the bowling world alive. If you go back many years to Jeff's father, who passed many years ago, Brian Wickens, him and his wife at Lake Huron Lanes, and then we would see Jeff come into learning, growing alongside his father, to taking over Highway Bowl, which has been a bowling alley in Sarnia for many years, and then would take that on, and then with some convincing with his mom, I mean convincing, would take on Marcin Bowl after Marcin Bowl being here many years and known as the house that Steve built, and Jeff keeping that history alive. Didn't want to rename it or anything. Kept the name. And now bringing us here today to the Marcin Big Money Bowl. $20,000 up for grabs. And many other cash prizes in there as well. So a lot on the line today. People from all over joining in, looking for a piece of it. And you know, a lot going into this to make it happen here. I mean, never mind the money. I mean, I can let you go, wow. $20,000. That's just the first prize. Never mind second, third, all the money brackets, everything else. So there's a lot of money on the line today.
Winner of the 50-50, Greg Jensen.
But the investment of time, I've known Jeff for many years, him and his family, and coming into, coming into the time, right? You know, and Jeff and his partner in life, Jen Barton, who's also here managing the bar and doing many other things. And they have little Lily, who's, I think she's like 2. And I think I can put it out there now, expecting another one along the way. So the time that goes into this here all the time. And I remember talking to Jeff just a little over a year ago. And he was like, yep, I'm going to do this thing. And I want it to be like this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I don't know much, honestly, about bowling, other than I worked in a bowling alley. So I'm winging it through here today. But I do understand commitment, and that was just wow. And now we're here today. So congratulations to Jeff and his family and everyone involved in making this happen. I know he's excited. 37 bowlers here this afternoon, and we'll have more in a later session. And then back tomorrow morning once again. And we want to give you some results from earlier today. There are the results from earlier today, and there was a lot of movement around there from first, second, and third, and even fourth there. So we will keep you updated. You can go to tournamentbowl.com to get all the latest of what's happening here at Marcin Bowl in Point Edward. Day 1, session number 2. And if you're in the area at Sarnia Point Edward, you can certainly come down here. There's no fee. There's no admission at the door or anything like that. You're welcome to just come in and enjoy and watch. I know my friend Greg, he saw the broadcast online and was like, hey, I'm going to go check that out. And brought in his pool cue. He's a big pool player here in Sarnia, and brand new felt on the table, and restaurant's open. Bar's open. And if you haven't been in this facility ever or in a long time, this is a great day to come and check it out. There's some great bowling happening here. Just give you the production view in the back of my head. Highway Bowl also, pardon me, a Highway Bowl also a part of the Wickens family. It's a bird shot view. See all my toys in here. Speaking of toys, the scoring system. A company called Conquer, $450,000 recently spent. Making huge investments here to keep the sport going, so to speak. again, to learn more, visit them online at marcinbowl.com. We're going to go over to the right side of the room, and first, once again, we'll just give you a look at the morning squad results. Jordan Croskery taking the lead so far. Dan McClellan and TJ Howard and Art Oliver, they were all kind of battling for positioning. Over to the other side, and just a bit of a view there. And the first game in the afternoon session is wrapped up. They play 5 games in each session. That's a lot of bowling, man. That's a lot of bowling. Well, it would be for me anyway. Would be for me. Take you back to the other side. A little more action still happening there. I'll try to get you in a view here. Special view on lane 22. Just take a moment to get that going. Uh-huh. Well, there you go. Steve Lewicki up there. He needed 3 strikes in a row to get $1,000 if he'd gotten the 3rd strike, and he really didn't pull it off. So he goes up to take the spare. Right? But there you go. There's another side of it that love to hear where you're watching from. Let us know. And if you've got a favorite bowler, we'd love to give them a shout out here. Trying to give you the best angles we can. Just coming down to the final few here. See if I can. There we go. The big money bowl, that's what it's all about. Coming into the final frames of the final games. Just I think like 2 lanes left up there. And that'll wrap up the first game. I missed, did see till too late. Oh, okay. David Jones saying hello on Discord. Cool. Where are you from, David? Coming into the second game. Of the afternoon session. Just trying to set up a little bit of a closer view here for you for some of the lanes. See how we make that work. Try that on for size. I will be back. I got to take a little break. Just speaking with Jeff Wickens, and he'll join us on the broadcast at some point. Let's see what he has to say about things. And Wendy wants to say good luck to Peter on lane 27. All right. There you go. Yeah, so Jeff will be coming here, and Jim Wolfgram at some point joining us also. A lot of effort going into making this happen here today for sure. Never mind the money. It's also the commitment. Trying to give you the best view I can here. With the lanes, it's hard to keep the brightness up with all the different lights and everything going on here. It keeps changing things on me. But we hope you're enjoying yourself. And wherever you're watching from, let us know where you are. Love to know where you're watching from. Looks like we got somebody from Mississauga watching on our website. Ah, yes, I can tell. In case you're curious, we'll give you an update of what happened this morning. You can see Jordan Croskery, Dan McClellan, and TJ Howard and Art Oliver taking the strong leads here this morning. So congratulations to those bowlers. Keeping an eye, Wendy's keeping an eye on Peter on lane 27 as we're into the second session today. 5 games. This will take us probably till around 3. Well, maybe it'll be a little bit longer. This will probably take us till about 4 o'clock. And speaking of making things work, we couldn't do it without the sponsors here. Jeff worked really hard to get out and get some local sponsors as well as Labatt Brewery coming on board to support the Big Money Bowl. With $20,000 on the line here today. And that's just for first place. So add up all the rest and you can understand the investment financially, the commitment financially, but of course, the time commitment here today as well. To find out more about Marcin Bowl and what they offer here, visit them online at marcinbowl.com. There's their website. When you go to marcinbowl.com, you can learn all about their food and restaurant and a little bit of history and how to book online, all their hours and pricing, and even the location there. There's lots on there. And once again, that's when you go to marcinbowl.com. We'll be here all through the afternoon and into the evening. Yeah. Say hello to our friends again from Mississauga. There's quite a few from Mississauga down here. And Plainwell, Michigan is also watching us online. Let us know who you're rooting for. I thought I'd come on here and say hello to you as well. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here today. It's well, it's a special treat for me to be here today as well. I apologize for the lights, but yeah, there you go. I just hold my head up. And yeah, I was back in the day. I was a karaoke host here back in the 90s. I started my career when I was 21 years old, and I did that for 25 years. So for me to be here is quite a thrill. It brings back a lot of memories. Some of the bowlers that I've known for a long time, like Roger Winter, who was here previously talking to us here. So Let us know if there's some favorite bowlers of yours, or if you're watching anybody in particular. Let us know in one of the chats, and I'm monitoring that, and hopefully I see that, and we'll give them a shout out here as well. And maybe you're a bowler who couldn't be here today, as I've seen a few of those messages, for a chance at $20,000 here at the Big Money Bowl at Marcin. It's just so impressive to me to still see such finesse, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to get some information on some of these bowlers here and see what we can chat about. Tyson Schuler, there you go. Angel. He's giving a shout out to Tyson. Let us know where you're watching from. Are you watching from the Marcin Bowl page or on my personal? Or we're also live on YouTube on the Video Show Network and also our website, tvsn.ca. So we're live everywhere. Everywhere you want to be. I think somebody already has that slogan. If you are watching on YouTube, do me a huge favor, click that like and subscribe button as we grow, helps us grow. And if you need an event live stream, love to hear from you. Give me a shout. There's my email, my phone number up there, or you can also find me on Facebook and send me a private message. A little more of a bird's eye view here on the first 12 lanes. Jim Hipple saying, go Chopper. All right. Ashley Wagner subscribed earlier today. Easier to have you streamed on the TV while I puttering around my house cleaning and baking. Ah, what are you baking? I'm hungry now. Appreciate this subscribe. Give me 1 sec here. All right, well, a special guest here joining us this afternoon, and we're going to welcome Dave LeClaire here on the microphone. Thanks for being here with me, Dave.
Not a problem, Dave. Glad to be here.
Yeah, well, and I kind of remember your name from years ago. I wasn't much of a bowler.
Right.
I tried. I'm not a quitter, but I know when I'm beat.
It's a
But
tough sport.
Yeah, well, you've been around the game a long time. Talk about how you first got involved.
I got involved at the age of 10. My dad was a bowler.
Yeah.
Very well-known bowler in the Sarnia area.
Okay.
And he got me interested, and I was getting a little too small to play hockey with all the big boys.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, okay.
So I turned to bowling and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right from the start.
I had Roger Winter here earlier,
Yep.
and I asked him the question, what is it about bowling, say, compared to any other sport that makes it, it's kind of a unique sport on its own.
It is unique. There's a lot of challenges. Nobody really knows, how hard it is until you actually get into the sport.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn. When I was growing up, you don't have the balls that we've got now,
Right.
or the lane
The
conditions.
technology, right?
They were wooden lanes
Yeah.
that had to be resurfaced and redone every year.
Yeah.
We had one ball.
Right?
It did very little, hooked maybe 2 inches if you were lucky. And that was it. So you had to learn to be very accurate,
Yeah.
to make your spares and to shoot your strikes.
So would you say it was tougher back then? Does it make it easier now, or is it just a different game?
It's a different game.
Yeah,
It
okay.
doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah.
The conditions these guys are bowling under right now, it may be a house shot to everybody, but everybody's ball reacts slightly different
Yeah.
under the conditions. They make so many different balls with so many different cover stocks to perform different on all the lanes out there. And then when they put down the oil, depending upon the oil pattern and how fast it breaks down, that can change the shot.
Yeah, yeah. And bowlers definitely are picky about the oil.
They're picky about just about everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
Well, yeah, and I've been through it all, so
Yeah.
I really know I'm saying what I believe in.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the sport. Otherwise, I wouldn't still be doing it.
Yeah, right. How long? So that's quite a, well, I don't want to reveal your age here, but
Let's put it this way. I'm going to be 78 just before
Wow.
Christmas Day. I've been bowling since I was 10.
okay.
I started bowling in men's leagues when I was 15.
Yeah.
I got out of the junior program. I went with my dad and bowled with him on about 3 different leagues
Yeah.
at the age of 15 and 16. I
Wow.
worked at Northgate Bowl when it first
Oh,
opened.
wow. Northgate. I forgot about that.
Upstairs, setting pins,
Yeah.
10 cents a line. Back in those days, you didn't think that was a whole lot, but when they were only paying 50 cents a line to bowl and you were making 10 cents out of it.
Yeah.
That was
Roger
the-
talked about that. He did it down on Mitten Street, and he said he made like $3 and some changers every
Yeah. But $3 back then.
That was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
But you worked for that, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're setting 10 pin.
I suppose, right? Yeah.
He was setting 5 pin at Metten. We were setting 10 pin at Northgate.
Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't. Yeah, that's twice as much.
Twice as many pins, and the balls were a lot heavier. And I was only 15 back then.
Yeah.
So.
You had strong arms then, I bet.
Well, by the time I was done, I did. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you talk about the technology. Like, I know they just bought a brand new oil machine here,
Yeah.
about $70,000 for
Yeah.
this machine. And I was looking at it this morning. I was about 7 o'clock this morning here with Dave looking at it, and I'm just like, wow, like it's got a screen in it, like it's got all computerized technology and all these different patterns that you can. What do you know about that? Like a different pattern in a oil. To me, it was just be like just go down, oil it, and come back.
You would think so, but the oil patterns can be they're short, medium, and long.
Okay.
The short is about 36 feet from the foul line to towards the pins.
Right.
Long is about 43 to 45, and then the medium is 43 to 45. Long is 53 usually.
Okay. How long is a lane?
60 feet to the
Okay.
head pin. That's why on TV you say that's 60 feet to perfection.
Right.
if
Okay.
you get it straight, because you have to hit the head pin, and obviously that's 60 feet from the foul line.
Yeah. I remember when I bowled, it was just like I was threw it straight, like tried to get between the middle and the other arrow, and the guys would tell me just a half step to the right, and I'm like, and then I would do that, and it still didn't work.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep trying.
Yeah. And like I do remember I was part of the junior program, like when I was a wee boy out at Highway Bowl many years ago, right? And I'll be 56, so there's your but like this $20,000 money bowl, like this is a lot on the line for Jeff Wickens and his family.
Yep.
I've been talking a lot about the commitment, not just on the financial side, because $450,000 new scoring board, $70,000 oil machine. Well, let's do the math on that. But the time commitment to what they've put into all of this, taking on Highway Bowl and now Marcin Bowl.
Yeah, it is a big commitment, and it was a lot of people were happy that at least somebody stood up, and put the money into it, because this place needs to exist. Really, it does.
It's a lot of history here.
Oh yeah, there has been. I mean, this place was built in '57.
Yeah. The
league,
house that Steve built.
Yeah, the league that I'm bowling in was one of the original leagues that started here when he first built the place.
Is that the Thursday night men's? Or?
Border City Men's League.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
longest running league.
Wow.
Still bowling here.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's the one I bowled in. Well, I bowled in the Thursday night fun league, the one before, and that's why I say I bowled 3 years and my average didn't change. So I thought I should move on to something else. But talk about coaching. Like you've done some of that as well too.
Yeah, I put about 25 years into coaching with the junior program.
What's the first thing when you walk up to? Because you're talking like what age group are you talking about there?
Back in those days, we started with them 4 to 5 years old, and bumpers down on the first 4 lanes.
Yeah.
And they're basically it's just have fun.
Yeah.
Get them to have fun, because once they learn that it can be fun,
yeah,
they'll want to come back.
Well, that's kind of the key, right?
Yeah. And then after that, you start working with them basically on the approach,
Yeah.
how to hold the ball, and how to release the ball, so that it can actually do something when you do release it.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And that's, it is one of those sports too where like if you start really young and then you keep going, like, and I do know a few fellas here like Dan Chop. I went to high school with him, and he said he was about,
I was his coach.
were you?
Yeah, I was Dan's coach.
Yeah, is that
so you
right?
can ask Dan about
Okay,
about
all
his
right.
coach. 'Cause
And
I was one of them.
Him
Yeah.
and his dad was a,
Yeah.
a supporter of
Yeah.
that for years as well too.
Yeah.
So, how was Dan to coach?
It was like all kids. Sometimes they listened, sometimes they wouldn't.
Right, yeah.
But looking at him now, he did remember a lot of things I used
Yeah.
to tell him. And
Yeah.
that's what a couple of the kids that have come back in those years, the first thing you told me was, learn to make your spares.
Yeah. All right.
Because
Yeah.
the strikes are going to happen, but you really have to learn to make your spares.
Yeah.
So they've remembered that, and that's good. Just have them come up and say, that's the one thing I remember. You always told me, make your spares.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's a key scoring factor
Oh, sure.
for the big part of it. On
Yep.
that second ball, like, can really set, and it can kind of set the pace for the whole game, right? Those first two frames that I recall over years ago hearing these conversations, but even watching here today, it's like those first 2-3 frames kind of set the tone, don't they, for what is likely to come?
Yep. Really, you have to start good, and from there it just gets better.
Because if
Hopefully.
you start bad, I mean, mentally we kind of go like, ah.
Yeah.
Now we start talking ourselves out of it, right?
Yep.
How much of the game is mental like that?
I think about 50% of the game is
Yeah.
mental. Because first of all, you have to know what you're doing when you get up there,
Yeah.
and don't forget it. But the best thing after eventually it becomes muscle memory is really critical.
Yeah.
If you're doing things the same way all the time, the muscles are going to remember.
Right.
They're going to know when you've done something you shouldn't have done.
Right.
So those are just things that you have to remember. But yeah, when you get started, that's the first thing you have to do is start off with a good attitude.
Yeah.
Um,
Like anything in life, in sports and all that stuff, that's a big part of it too.
It
like
is,
the
yeah.
positive mindset. But
Yep.
I watch these guys, and again, I go back to years ago, but I'm watching here today. A couple of them that I know, and a few that I don't. Like we've got Alberta is here today,
Yep.
Niagara Falls, Michigan. There's a lot of emotion that happens. Like these guys, like I know there's people here having fun, and they're just like whatever. But there's some of these guys, like they're here for the 20 grand.
Yep.
Plus, you can really see the frustration or sometimes the disappointment on the miss of that easy spare that
Yep.
was just sitting there waiting for them. But they're not all that easy, right?
No, they're not. And depending upon the reaction of the ball, you can miss it just by a hair, and you're not going to get it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
there is a lot of the mental part. Really is.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody says, "Oh no, it's just go up there and throw the ball." Well,
Yeah.
it is, but then you got to start thinking about what you're doing and where you need to stand, and just all those things go through your head. But when it comes to release it should just be relax and go.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say, based on that precision side of things, that bowlers are actually some of the greatest athletes on the planet, just
Yeah.
based on precision?
Yep. There is. Actually, I brought something that you could probably will probably make it easier to. It's one of the things that I put in our website,
Okay.
and if you can look at that and you can read it, you can see exactly what it says.
As a competitive sport, bowling presents a truly demanding athletic challenge. Mental and physical precision, exceptional hand-eye coordination, unwavering muscle memory, and endurance are all required for bowling skill. Consider that in any given tournament, a bowler walks 4 miles, lifts, swings, and releases 4 tons. What? Yeah, and must deliver every ball within 4/10 of an inch of a selected mark in order to reach a target which is 60 feet away and only 1 6/10 inches wide. Indeed, the challenges posed by bowling have been described as unique to all of sport. And to read, I just had to focus just to read that. Never
Yeah.
mind all the things that it's talking about
Yeah.
in there, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that answers my question pretty well. You have to be a great athlete to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like golfers, like I think they're underrated as great athletes because there's so much precision to that tiny little
Well,
ball
yeah.
and where it's got to go.
And the same thing as you just read, depends here.
Yeah.
If you we got some guys that are fat and out of shape and all that, but they can still bowl.
Right.
But they're bowling because their legs are strong, their arm is strong, and
Yeah.
their brain, their mind is strong.
Well, and you know what? I think it's true to as we get older. We talk about like dementia, Alzheimer's, those kind of things. It often happens because we're not processing things up there. So bowling is something that if you keep the mind going and focusing, it's kind of a health thing, really.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah. Are you still throwing a ball?
I'm still throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how well are you still throwing that ball?
My average isn't as good as it used to be, but
You're still up there?
I'm still playing. I can still average between 178
Okay.
180, somewhere around there.
All right. You're not bowling today?
Nope.
You
no,
couldn't
no.
make it in, yeah.
They're a little above my league right
yeah,
now.
is that right?
But
Okay.
10 years ago,
Well,
I
no, we had Jen Barton in there. She was
Yeah.
throwing a ball.
Yeah. No, 10 years ago, I could probably
Yeah.
compete with them, but not now.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
you know.
Are you still coaching, though? Are you still
No,
helping out?
no, I got a coaching probably 30 years ago.
Okay, all right. So you're just chilling. And so
No,
outside of bowling, what are you doing?
I play golf once a week in
Okay.
the summer, but during the winter, I bowl once a week. I also run the LCTA website.
Okay. All
Do
right.
that. I work with Rod on the report that we generate each
Sorry,
week.
it's the what website?
The LCTA
Okay.
website.
Yeah.
Yep. So we have a website for the local association.
Yeah.
Rod Honky, who was going to be here today, but he just had surgery on Thursday,
All right.
and he would have been here talking to you as well.
Okay.
And he writes a report every week of all the highlights of bowling in the Sarnia Association.
So we need to get some more people out here and getting into the sport. And I know that's one of the reasons that Jeff took this on is trying to rejuvenate the sport of bowling as to getting some more people in there. I know the junior program could use some help in there, right?
And the big problem with the junior program, unlike the States, is that our juniors, when they're done here and go away to college, there's nothing. There's no program for college bowlers in here as there is in the States.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
The
Oh,
States have college teams all over the place.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's really big in the States.
So we need to talk to our educators here, or how
Well,
would we get
probably-
that going?
Yeah, the sports.
I'd go back to college.
Yeah, the sport heads in the colleges need to start looking at it because it is a good sport. It's something you can do, as I'm proving, until you're well into your 80s.
Yeah, right.
When I was a kid, I worked a provincial tournament at Northgate Bowl, and there was a gentleman there that was 93.
Wow.
And he was still bowling.
Yeah.
Not a great bowler, but he was still
He was
bowling.
still doing it.
Yeah.
Still moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and memories, quite honestly, comes into all this. Like I say, I have fond memories of Highway Bowl. I mean, I didn't become a great bowler or anything, but I do remember it.
Yep.
And when you at our age, when you remember those things, it's like it was a good memory.
Yep.
And I had a lot of fun. I wasn't great at it, but it didn't matter. Like
No.
I think that's a key factor. Like when you're young, and you play baseball and soccer and football. If you're not good at it, you're really not. You're not having fun.
No, but you got to remember back then, the team sports was the big thing.
Yeah.
Bowling is much like golf. It's an individual sport.
Yeah,
yes,
for
you
sure.
can play it on a team.
Yeah.
But if you do wrong, your other teammates can pick you up.
That's right.
But out in baseball, if you do something wrong, it could cost you the game.
Right.
Same thing in football.
Yeah.
Well, here it's not. It's not
No.
a life and death situation.
Yeah. Right.
But you can form a lot of good friendships in bowling.
Yeah.
And
And
what-
travel too,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Going all over.
A lot of the kids. I went to one tournament in Cincinnati, Ohio,
Yeah.
which was one of the big ones. That back then it would be the ABC Congress.
Oh yeah.
It was a big tournament. You
Yeah.
walk down the middle of the forum and spread each way, and then they play the national anthem, and then you bowl.
Oh wow.
Real big, and it's still going on to this day over
Yeah.
there. We have our Ontario provincial tournaments every year. We have a seniors tournament every year. Usually it goes around. The last couple of years it's been in Burlington. Next year, I believe, is going to Windsor.
We need to get that here.
Yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned to our association.
Yeah.
These tournaments like that can, you say, oh, well, it's only 2 weekends. Yeah, but that's 2 weekends of older people here that are going to, stay in motels, buy food,
Yeah,
buy
no,
drinks.
it's not just good for the bowling alley.
Yeah.
It's for everything around.
Yeah.
I agree. And how many people would be in that? Like, would you need both Highway Bowl and Marcin Bowl to do that, or one spot would do it?
Probably not. You could probably do it here.
Yeah.
It might take a couple of weekends to do it, but it's been done before, and I don't see any reason why we couldn't.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting the association behind it
sure.
and putting a bid in to get it.
Yeah. Well, and
get
I
it
know
done.
Jeff talked about that Windsor
Yeah.
one. They've had it before, right?
Yep.
And it's a couple of weekends, and obviously there are still people like get to spend money on the hotel, like you said,
Yep.
and everything. So obviously there's some people still committed out there to the sport. What about your family, kids or grandkids or anything like that?
All my grandkids came up to the junior program,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, once they got into college, again,
Life gets in the way.
Yeah, life gets in the way. They get
Yeah.
married, and that's it. Then it basically stopped. And unfortunately, that's the problem. And I've been saying that all along, even when I was coaching in the junior program.
Right.
Once they leave the junior program, what do we do?
Yeah. Yeah. You got to try to get them back. But
Got to keep them interested first and foremost.
yeah, and again, outside of Dan and Steve Lewicki and several others, I look around, I see another Dan. I can't remember his last name. but-
Vandermeer,
yeah, right.
Big Dan.
And
yeah.
Big Dan. And I was the karaoke guy inside the bar there, and I remember guys would. I got to know the bowlers because they would walk in through the bar to get their beer. And that's when I would talk to them, right?
Yeah.
And obviously they still have something in it for them to keep coming. Like to be bowling. I was looking on the sheets. Like Dan's 50 years.
Yeah.
And he was 5 when he started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So. Well, and the commitment again from Jeff Wickens and the family is really applaudable, right?
Yes, it is very, very applaudable, and I I commend him for his hard work, and I think it was a little bit above what he could reach,
Right.
but I don't think it's something you should stop because this is probably a start, and if we keep going at it,
He's already talking the next year and the next few years. We've
yeah,
been having conversations, and
yeah.
I started talking to him about this about a year and a half ago, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know that world, but it sounds like you're ready." He's like, "I'm doing it,"
Yeah.
And he's plan, do, review. We call it. He'll do it, and then we'll sit back after, and he'll look at it and go, "Okay, what could I do differently to get more people and all that stuff?" And he's got a lot of people around him. I'm sure, like yourself, probably giving him advice on. Telling them what to do.
making recommendations.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people, even in New York. I've got Leclerc's down there.
Oh yeah.
In New York, and he actually runs three pro shops in the New York area, and I send him the information. And him and his 2 kids both bowl quite regularly in tournaments over there.
Yeah.
So I sent the information to them, and then unfortunately they were already booked for this weekend. And
Yeah.
they're booked months in advance. So they know what the program is.
Right.
So something like this, if it had come out in, like, say, September
Sure.
and started promoting it then, I'm sure they would have said, hey, we'll put that on our schedule. Cause
Yeah.
20 grand, even if you bowl in the States, that's still 12 grand over there.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
And they're going to bowl in tournaments over there for 5 to 10 grand max.
Yeah, wow.
US.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if
this
you
is huge. When
yeah,
he told
this
me, I
is
was like,
huge,
okay, yeah.
It is.
And I know there's some other tournaments in Ontario this weekend as well, and some final weeks for some.
Yeah.
So timing's everything too,
Yeah.
right? So I'm sure that that'll be looked at again. He's pretty much said he's doing it again, and
Yeah.
it's just a matter of when and where. And all
Yeah.
that. Well, we know the where, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, Dave, but I really appreciate you spending time with me here, and I got a bit of an education, and you kind of took me back to some days for myself here as well. So I'm sure you're going to stick around for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to stick around and watch it for a little bit.
And will you be back tomorrow?
Probably not.
No?
Depends on what I have going tomorrow, but
Okay.
I may stop by and see who's bowling again tomorrow and
Very good.
see how it goes.
Well, thanks very much. Really appreciate
No
your
problem.
time.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
You're welcome. Let me get those off you without hurting yourself. There we go. Oh no, that was fantastic. That's fantastic. Who knows? Maybe we'll have you back. Right on. Thanks, Dave. Dave LeClaire joining us here, and you know, it's nice to have those guys come in and talk to us about what they remember about it, and you know, like obviously, super involved. Mini butter tarts and bread, Ashley. Wow. Okay, I'll be right over. We don't do much baking. Well, I don't do any baking. Jennifer doesn't. If anybody's doing it, she does. Well, that was fantastic to have Dave LeClaire. I do remember him actually from my younger years. And I do remember him from my younger years. Oh, I just want to set my microphone back up. And I bet you we could have kept talking. Maybe we'll have him back here a little bit later if he's still around. Thanks again, Dave. And speaking of thanks, we want to thank the sponsors who came on board to support this big money bowl, $20,000 for first place. And especially title sponsor Labatt, who came on. Coming into now, the second or third. I lost track. I believe coming into the third game here. This will probably run till about 4 o'clock for this session. I've got to take a little break. I'll be back. Let's take a little closer look over here on, I think it's the lane 23. Might be going for 3 in a row. Oof, missed on the spare there. 24 waited for his ball. He'll take up the spare. You're on 23. I'm sorry I don't know the gentleman's name, but he's looking for a third in a row, a turkey as they like to call it. Just focus there for a moment. I'm sorry, 24. And there it is. Wow. Oof. Not working out. A few more shots and we'll take it over to the other side, but there's another one coming through, and there you go. Just like that. That's all you got to do. Right? And of course, several people here today who are supporting. Lots playing, of course, but 37 bowlers this afternoon. And again, a reminder from who was taking the lead here earlier this morning. Jordan Croskery at number 1 in that. Dan McClellan, TJ Howard, and Art Oliver, top 4 for the event so far. But it's still early, right? $20,000 on the line. Again, Jeff Wickens looking to rejuvenate the sport of bowling, putting up a lot of money and a lot of time to make this work here. He is a man with a vision, I can tell you that. I'm going to set the microphone down. I got to take a little break, but I will be back. All right, back from stretching my legs. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Marcin Big Money Bowl. I was stretching my legs and then also having a bit of a chat there with owner Jeff Wickens. There's the back of my head. Just to kind of give you a different perspective view here. And this, where I'm sitting, it's a lot smaller than it looks there, but actually it's a good size. This was the DJ booth they built back in the day, back in the 90s. Around the same time that time they had put in, gone from wooden lanes to synthetic lanes here at Marcin Bowl. And this is where we're broadcasting from today. I got a short chair. Jeff said I should have got a higher. He said, I didn't think you were in there. I'm here. So the Big Money Bowl. So $20,000 first place, $10,000 second place. Third place, $5,000. $35,000 put up right there. Plus a perfect game. First perfect game is $1,000. Second and third perfect game with $500 each. So there's a lot of money out for grabs here. And well, it's just great to see this, not just for the bowling community, but in our community. It's just in our community. Go online to marcinbowl.com to find out more about what they're doing here. And again, a congratulations to Jeff and his family and the team that have helped put this together. Finishing up the final frames here. Game number 4, game number 5 will get underway here shortly. MarcinBowl.com to learn more about the facility here. If you're in the area, Sarnia, Point Ever, or wherever, the public is welcome to come by and watch this amazing tournament. Big Money Bull. That's a good name for it. $35,000 total for first, second, and third place. Never mind the bonuses and the brackets and everything else. So there's a lot of money on the line today. Seeing some great games up on the board in front of me. 7th frame with a 144. And an 8th and a 9th frame with a strike. So there's 3 in a row. So we'll switch it up and focus in on that frame. Because that just looks like fun. Oops. Interesting split down there on 24. What is this? No. That was a tough one. Tough on 23 here, looking to. Ugh. That's the frustrating part. You get some of those weird ones. Finishing up here in front of me in the 10th frame. And then we'll head on to the 5th game of this session.